Hello there, my beautiful viewers. This is Flavored, and you're watching the first pilot episode, or a first pilot video. I'm not sure what to call it actually. First pilot video of my guide to Star Wars: The Old Republic PvP. You might be new and aspiring player, and you intend to PvP a lot as you reach 50th level. Well, it might be 55th by the time I finish this video series and expansion Rise of the Hot Cartel comes out. Or maybe you intend to PvP a lot pre-50, which you definitely should do. Or you might already be an established level 50 player who just feels he's missing something from his PvP performance. Then perhaps using some advice I'm going to give in these videos might help you improve. Now, all of this, what I'm going to talk about in these videos is my personal experience, and which yields somewhat good results. But it is in no way set in stone. It's only the ideas that I'm going to give you, which you should try out yourself, see whatever works for you, whatever doesn't work for you, and use them as a basis, as a foundation for your own growth. Perhaps you will find ways to evolve something for yourself, to change it. Well, feel free. It's just some food for thought, something that I want you to think on. Perhaps you will see where your play lacks, or you'll just learn from the scratch. That is fine. So at first I wanted this video to be just all banter about why should you play better and how it improves the experience, PvP experience for everyone, for all your team and the opposing team. But then I thought, who the hell wants to listen to that anyway? Seriously, nobody wants. Personally, I think you understand it yourself, that if you and your teammate play good, it improves the game for everyone. I'm pretty sure that you want to have fun, or maybe your aim is to win. And obviously, for both these reasons, it's better that you play good than if your performance is just so-so. Thus, thus is why I'm making this video, obviously. Let me hop into the game, and for this first pilot episode, I wanted to make the topic of gaining an upper hand. Yeah, let's just call it this, gaining an upper hand, why not? And I'm going to talk about how should you prepare for the end game PvP, which can be easily done from the moment you reach level 10 in the game. Alright, level 10, this is where you can start PvPing. As soon as you complete your starter noob planet, you're already prepared to fight against the other players in the warzones, and at the same time you can already start gaining an upper hand. Now, building your character is not exactly for PvP. It's not only wearing good gear and attacking other players. There are some other ways. In the game which are mainly PvE, which can improve your stats and chances in any PvP combat. Now, I've made a little bit of a checklist. I thought it would be short, but it's turned out really not. To hell with it. Let's just start with the talk. First topic to talk about, which I've lined out for myself, is starting at level 10. Let me log into my server and pick character appropriate, starting at level 10. Well, I don't exactly have a level 10 character, but I have this gunslinger on the Republic side, which is pretty close. Starting at level 10. So you finished your newbie planet. and probably want to experience the PvP right away. Well, that is if you're a new player. Probably if you're not, you've already seen it all, I guess. But perhaps it's best if you do not until you reach level 20. And the reason for that being, at level 10 you simply lack any firepower, any important skills, any defensive cooldowns most probably. And that will make any PvP hard for you. So let's see, what do I have at level 14 as a gunslinger. I have a set of... yeah, I've just reached level 14 and haven't been to the trainer yet, but at level 14 I would have a cool head for restoring some of my energy, and an upgrade to my blaster whip. Well, really short list of a general smuggler skills, and a few gunslinger skills. And really, these aren't exactly enough to put on a good performance, somewhat good performance in a war zone. Most general skills come into play by the level 20. So perhaps you would want to level to 20 before you actually PvP. But of course, it's your preference. But don't be surprised if you get smashed on the floor, wiped all around. You have to be prepared for that. If you are a coming back player, you might have some additional perks, buffs, and bonuses. Something that I'm going to cover next after I finish with this one. And you might have an easier life, like you can see. I have all the class buffs, but unfortunately, they do not give you enough of an edge to actually be competitive at this level. Okay, next is the importance of your gear. Pre-50, all up to the level of 49 right now. I'm not sure how will it look like when the level cap is increased. You have a so-called bolster system. According to your level, it boosts your stats to average at level 49. Well, it boosts your stats to something like level 49. This is not exactly true, and it has its own formulas to boost your stats. Basically, if you're level 10, it doesn't take your gear. Well, not that you have much of a gear. Look at how much it boosts your stats. At level 10, it will boost your secondary and primary stats significantly to somewhere around like 1100 cunning and 1000 endurance, so you will be somewhat, so you do not get killed right away. As soon as you get as you gain levels, the bolster effect diminishes. You're required to complement this with a better and improved gear. So for example, if you are a level 20 with level 20 blue gear, that is considered good. You will have about 13k HP, you will have a decent damage for the level, you will be competitive. But at the same time, if you are level 20 in level 10 green gear, your effectiveness, even with the bolster, would diminish considerably. You will have probably somewhere close to 1100.5k HP, not 1100, what am I talking about? Well, yes, 1100.5 k HP. You will have lower damage than everyone else in a war zone, lower bonus damage, lower secondary stats. Well, and of course that all lowers your chance at beating an opponent and your overall performance. Thus, I cannot stress enough how important it is to keep your gear updated. Thus, if you can, run those flashpoints, complete those heroic missions on the planet, planets, get creds, buy better gear. A lot of good gear pre-50 can be bought on the GTN. And if you've already reached level 50, but it's completely another topic, of course, the current best gear tier is Elite War Hero, but do not try to go for Elite War Hero straight away, as currently maxed out War Hero is much faster to grind. Seriously, currently the gear system is pretty good. Before it was pretty unfair, but right now grinding full War Hero gear, augmenting it, well, not even augmenting it, just grinding it and changing the right mods and right enhancements will yield you pretty good and competitive results. Remember, keep your gear updated, that's important. It's important not just at 50s but pre-50s as well. If you want to stay competitive and feel impact of your attacks and defense, you have to keep your gear updated. For example, let me switch to another character of mine and show you what I mean. I have this level 42 Sith Assassin, which can destroy almost anyone, 1-on-1, 1-on-2, and even 1-on-3, simply because its gear is good. Not only the class is considered overpowered, but the gear is also pretty good. Just a second, it will load. Wooden PC, wooden computer. You can do it. Let me just throw in some wood, some firewood, so it works faster. Once again, I can't stress enough that you should keep your gear updated to your level. Well, it's not, of course, always possible, but you should strive and update it at least every 4 or 6 levels to the current level of yours. So here we go. Level 42, I have 1048 endurance and 1022-26 willpower. Mostly I'm outfit with a purple gear, and this all I never craft anything. I just look for the cheap offers on the GTN and buy this gear. Usually 25-30k per item is a pretty decent price. This is what I have. In a war zone I have close to 13k, 1300. Not 13k, 1300 endurance and close to 1300 willpower. And this provides me about 15k hit points with a boost, with the assassin endurance boost, about 550 bonus damage, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, I should say. I can easily go 1-on-1 against anyone and win. I will not feel low impact from any of my attacks. I will survive for long enough, and that's what you should strive for throughout any level and at 50. Next on the list, now that we've covered gear, and we've covered the fact that you probably should not start PvP right off at level 10, because it can really ruin your experience, simply because you will not have anything to operate with. We should actually move on to gaining an upper hand. This the advice, just as the gear, applies to any level, including 50s. If you do not yet know, there are things Datacrons. Well, I do not really want. This is a pretty large topic. You should probably Google it. There are 64 Datacrons, from what, if I'm right, scattered across every planet you will be questing on, like 3, 5, 6 Datacrons across the planet, and all of them permanently improve your stats. Now, I don't know if I actually, let me open my codex, if I actually have any Datacrons here on this character. Oh yeah, achievement Datacrons. Here I have only 4. many? Yeah, there are 67 records. I think 66 Datacrons there are. One record you get for obtaining all of them, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, it doesn't matter. All of them add to your stats. Gathering all the Datacrons improves your character. I think someone calculated it and came to a conclusion that overall the improvement is something about 4.5% in total, and that is good. What's even better is that you can start from level 1. Starter planets have 3 to 4 Datacrons, if I'm not mistaken. So during the course of your leveling, you should definitely gather all the Datacrons. And at level 50, once you hit 50, you can go for plus the awesome plus 10 Datacron, plus 10 to all your stats. Overall, it's great. It's like having an additional gear piece, and you will start feeling its effects at level perhaps 30, if you of course gather all of them. This is very nice. Why do I keep repeating this is very nice? It's obvious it's very nice. Come on, man. This is one of the first ways you can go for to improve your character and make it more competitive pre-50, and of course once you hit the end game PvP. Okay. Another way to improve your character is the companions, and this is another vast topic. First of all, you might have noticed, and of course if you're 50 you do know, that you gain affection with your companions. Let me open my legacy tree. As soon as you complete all the dialogue with their companions, their icon will appear in global unlocked tree. Once it appears, let's read it. Grants a bonus to your accuracy. Grants a bonus to your critical hit chance. Grants a bonus to your surge rating. Grants a bonus to your max health. And grants a bonus to your total healing received. Now I know bonuses in my case are a little bit spread out across characters, but you will receive all the same bonuses for one character if you fully complete all the dialogue for all your 5 companions. So you don't really need to have several characters for that. You just need to have perhaps a lot of cash. Now you can do it through the dialogue, but it's a little bit slow. So if you have a little bit of money, perhaps, well, I think I did it at the current price on GTN. I bought enough companion gifts, and it cost me around 100k per companion. In total, from all 5 companions, you receive like 187 bonus health. You will receive 1% additional surge rating. You receive 1% total healing received bonus, which obviously makes you easier to heal in the war zones. You receive additional % of critical hit chance and additional % to your accuracy. In total, these boosts are awesome. I cannot stress it enough. You should definitely go for them when you can. They definitely improve your competitiveness, and well, obviously, most probably, that's right, you cannot really have all the dialogue with your companions until you finish chapter 2 in your storyline. Thus it's more of an end game thing, so after level 40 you will be able to obtain these bonuses. And they are pretty important. You will notice the difference between when you didn't have them and once you get them pretty straight away. And it's pretty much important for every class, any class you play. They're pretty easy to obtain as soon as you finish chapter 2, and if you have enough cash to buy companion gifts, which are well, relatively inexpensive. You can spend like 400k and maybe even less and obtain all the bonuses easily. 20 minutes max, just for handing out these presents. Your companions will be showered in presents. But otherwise, you can probably run the Achilles or the Black Talon, because with your companion, if you do not have the cash, because these flashpoints give probably the most affection boost if you choose the right answers for any companion. Okay, these companions slowly flow into the crew skills. There are actually only two major crafting skills that are in any way important to PvP. It's cybertech and biochem. Both are effective across all the levels. Biochem starts being more effective earlier on for these teams, obviously, which boost your stats. Wait, let me. There are stimulants. This one at level. Let me sort by level. Yes, and you can start using them at level 8. Blue ones are probably the best, because once you die, the effect doesn't go away, unlike green ones and the purple ones, because the purple ones are usable, but still, when you die, the effect will go away. Only the Rakata purple ones seems stay on you. So basically, biochem is one of the two most important PvP skills across all levels. You can either go for biochem or cybertech. Cybertech kicks in. Wait, let me relog to a level 50 character to showcase cybertech a little bit. While I'm relogging, I should stress that if you are going for biochem, or even if you are not going for biochem, you should not play without steams. It kind of forgivable at earlier levels where you have bolster, but it is like playing without a single gear piece at level 50 and above. Having an Rakata at least, or better an exotech skill, an exotech steam is a must at level 50. If you do not have it, your damage or your hit points or your defense will be impaired, and will be impaired very, very severely compared to someone who has a steam active. Like, you will be lacking 112 or 128 main stat or endurance, and you will be lacking power or defense. Steams are important. Another thing important in PvP is grenades, and that's where cybertech comes in. I think the first grenade you're able to use is at level 20. That cybertech kicks in a little bit later than biochem, but still, it's, yeah, your first grenade is at level 20, probably most widespread grenade, with the effect of a stun. There are several types of grenades, which slow, which root, which stun. At level 50 you get reusable grenades, obviously, so you do not have to remake them all the time. This is another of the skills you can use, but perhaps if you're just starting biochem allows you to make better creds. Well, actually, that's debatable. Both skills can make creds, but you will have reusable steams, and that can save you a lot of money in the long run. Okay, crew skills covered, companion bonuses covered. I've talked about the gear. What else? Oh, of course, of course. It is the class buffs. Each of 4 classes on each side has its own buff. This is actually a problem which even most 50s face. They neglect the importance of buffs, but the buffs are hugely important. Once you complete your chapter 2 of your class skill, of your class quest, you get a permanent buff from that class, which can be used across your legacy, across any character, whatever. 4 buffs are Hunter's Boon or Fortification, I think, on the Republic side, increases endurance by 5%, Natural Might or Force Might, or increases all damage dealt and healing by 5%, which is a huge boost. Wait, not damage dealt, but bonus damage. It's a number. It increases this number by 5%. This number. So the higher this number you have, the better the effect. Mark of Power or Force Valor increases your stats by 5%, as well as it reduces internal and elemental damage by 10%. This is another one hugely important buff, and it relates to Unnatural Might, because once it improves your stats, it improves your bonus damage, and thus it is further improved by Unnatural Might. And the last one is Coordination, or god damn it, I forgot, Lucky Shots, I think it's called on the Republic side. It increases your critical chance by 5%, thus even more damage. Now, most 50s neglect these bonuses. Of course, this is one probably most hardest to get of all, simply because you have to spend a lot of time leveling characters of the other classes. Not everyone, obviously not everyone's prepared to make such a time sacrifice, and not everyone is interested in the other classes. Thus, you will have to rely on your team, especially if you're just starting. You will have to rely on your team for these buffs. You will have to like go around in warzones and type, "Buff me, buff." But not everyone will be doing this, and in general. So if you can, and if you really want to get better in PvP, perhaps you might consider leveling the other characters now, instead of just let me show you my pretty face here. You might consider leveling other classes. Doesn't matter if it's if you decide to go two classes, to a knight and trooper on the Republic side, and Inquisitor and operative on the Imperial side. These buffs are the same and work across your legacy in any character. And of all the gains you can get, they probably are the biggest ones. But at the same time, you can obtain it from your team. But quite often, especially in the PUC war zones, if you are not in a ranked team, pre-made team, most people do forget to give them out to the team, and thus your effectiveness will be greatly diminished as opposed to your opponents if they have these buffs. Well, I think this pretty much covers everything that's widely accessible. There are, of course, several rare items that might boost your stats even more. There are several buff items that can be obtained through the class quests and that can be used. There are rare buffs which can improve your critical chance by 10%, which I think do not get cleansed in war zones, which can be given by friendly allied mobs in PvE on the planets. They're rarely, but they are used. They are used sometimes, though. I don't know. Perhaps it might be changed in the future fetches, but it's very rare to see this in a war zone. That's I'm not be covering it. Although now that I think about it, I can talk about them for a little bit. There are at least a couple of buffs which can be granted to you if you're in combat close to the allied neutral characters. For example, on the Republic side, on Alderaan, Organa troops can boost you with a 10-minute buff for 10 additional crit %, and on Balmora you can be boosted by 10% additional defense buff. These are quite huge numbers. But first of all, it's only 10 minutes duration, that's it will expire in a war zone, and I'm not sure. Last time I tried it did not cleanse automatically in a war zone. How the things are right now or will be in the future, I have no idea. There are also a few items, wait, perhaps I still have them in my guild, in my bank. Let me just drive, switch back to the game. Yes, I'm driving to my bank. Let me sing this little song. Okay, I'm at my bank. I think I had them. Yes, this is White Ambrosia Orb. As you can see, it increases my power by 20 and restores 43 health every 6 seconds. It lasts for an hour, and even if I die, just like say blue steam, the effect does not go away. But obviously getting them is a pretty rare stuff. Pretty rare, yeah. So they are not used in the war zones at all, but it's something, if you're preparing for an important match, it's something that can give you an additional boost. I'm pretty sure there are quite a few, well, not quite a few, but there are a few of similar items which I've never come across, but there are. If you know, let me inform me what items are these and where to get them. Perhaps you will open something new introduce something new to the PvP community, which is not used yet. Just as these 10% crit and 10% buff defense buffs aren't used, but they could be. These are some of the rarest examples of boosts you can get. Damn it, I thought this episode would be short, but I'm ranting on and ranting on. Anyway, everything I've talked about in this case can be applied. You can start doing it pre-50, right when you are level 1. You can make some kind of a plan, collect the Datacrons, think about whether you'll be using biochem or cyber tech as your crew skill. You can think about simultaneously leveling several characters for the buffs, and as well as, of course, you will learn these classes, so it would be easier to go against in PvPs, learn their strong sides and weak sides. It all adds up, seriously. It's experience, you will learn to PvP better, a lot of ways to go. One thing that you should not forget, or it's actually several things you should not forget. You should not forget the importance of gear in this game. It is a progression game. You cannot just hit 50 with some scraps of gear. Well, you can actually, but you just can. What am I talking about? You can hit 50 with the scraps of gear, but this is a progression game. Here, you build your character. You start weak, you grow strong. That's how it is. And you have to always update yourself to stay competitive until you hit the absolute maximum. Is a min-maxed Elite War Hero gear with all the Datacrons, with all the buffs, and then just play competitive ranked and enjoy the game at its best. Where individual skill starts to really kick in, it's when you cannot max out any longer, and cannot be any more carried by gear advantage. Well, I suppose that's about everything I wanted to talk about in this introductory video. I'm sorry it is recorded live, by the way. It is recorded live, it's not edited in any way. I'm just freestyling and rambling on. Thus, if I missed something out, let me know. This is important. Give me your feedback. I think I'm doing this mostly for the pre-50s and new players, but of course, a lot of my advice, a lot of whatever I'm talking about here can be applied to 50s easily. Seriously, if you've never collected Datacrons, if you never collected companion boosts, if you do not use teams and you're already PvPing at 50, you are weak. Let's be plain. You should start doing all that. And that's about it, I suppose. If I missed on something, let me know. I will probably make an additional video where I could expand on whatever other advantage you can get prior to reaching 50 and after you reach 50. How in whatever else way you can expand your character and be more competitive in the war zones. Okay, so that's it for now. In the future episodes, actually, I could lay out the current checklist I have for the future episodes of the guide to SWTOR's PvP. Actually, the name is not yet even decided. How should I call it, I wonder? The Coruscant's PvP stories. That's goddamn too cheesy. Anyway, in the next episode, when I get around to doing it, I will be talking about the importance of controls. Let me switch back into the game. Importance of controls. Having a good control setup is important. You need to be able to rotate your map quickly. You need to be moving comfortably. You need all your skills bound. After that, I will be talking about character interface, which is all this. It's very important to have a character interface tailored to your needs. After that, it will just the hell, I don't know this English word I want to use, but I will be going into awareness. You have to be in PvP, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to look around, gather information, and make an educated decisions of whatever you will be doing. Once I cover all these topics, I will be moving into playing your class. I will go. Wait, let me log out. I've virtually played every class in this game on one side or the other, on this account or other accounts. So I would love to go into the role each class and spec plays in a war zone. Once you stick to the role and go out of the boundaries of it only when you need to, your team will have a much better performance. So basically, yeah, DPS should DPS, tanks should control and protect, and healers should heal. That's the basis of it, but I would like to expand on every war zone. What should you concentrate on and how should you do it? After that, I will go into a little bit more specifics. I will talk about playing objectives and doing it on each of the war zones that currently exist in the game. I'm doing this actually in patch 1.6, but most of the advice I give her is patch independent until until I reach the very last episodes, where I will be more specific in what I talk about. So I will be talking about objectives and how to play them, perhaps what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing in a war zone. And in the end I will just cover each separate warzone and tactics, possibly, something like that. But it's not yet set in stone whatsoever. So, once again, perhaps I've made someone mad with what I've just said. If so, I apologize. I didn't want this. These are just my personal experience with playing a lot of characters and not wasting. I really enjoyed this game still, regardless of certain imbalances and bugs. This is just, I've played a lot of hours, a lot of PvP games. Perhaps let me log into my Guardian for a second. Who is Elite Warlord, by the way. It's loading. Galactic Annihilation. I've played in total, well, I don't want to lie, so I'll just check a couple of my characters and their stats. Actually, ranked stats on these characters are just horrible, because I've managed to lose so many games with the puck groups while trying to gear up when ranked war zones just came out. It's rah. Okay. So here, don't look at my team rating. No. So here I have 1.5k total wins, and probably around, well, my stats have always been at about 60-70%, so probably somewhere 1.2k losses. So for example, 3k games here. Then I have another character, Shadow, which is close to Elite War Hero as well, which is actually has more games than this one. Yes, I know, sounds weird, but yeah, it has more PvP games than this one. So it's 3k games more, well, and several others which would total to 3k more, I suppose. So yeah, I've played to close, or maybe even above 10k games, 10k PvP matches overall, and I have a little bit of experience in the field. I'm sorry if I'm mad at someone with the statements I've made and I will make, but this is totally not my intention. I just want to show some ideas of how you can improve your PvP. And I'm not telling you this is what you should do, but they're just ideas of how you can what you can do, and maybe improve it for yourself or transform it into something else. That would be awesome. Just listen to me rambling, think how you can apply it to your play style, and improve. That's all I want. I want you, if you are pre-50 or endgame PvPer, just feeling a little bit underperforming, I just want you to listen to me, say, frack you man, you duck lover, or whatever else, and get better. That's all. As currently, unfortunately, at least in PUC PvP's, level can be quite low across the servers, and in ranked war zones a lot of teams just dominate, so new players are afraid to queue, and this is simply unacceptable. The PvP in this game can grow into something competitive, that's what I feel, but unfortunately people do not, vast majority of the players do not learn, and that's what I would love to change. I don't think I can change it by myself, even though it would be great if I if I did something, at least something good, to make it move towards a better PvP. But I think this is something I cannot change by myself. But I would love to see change with my help or without my help. So, thanks for watching this. I'm pretty sure it's... well, stop looking at my face. Let's do it like this. Thanks for watching this video, this introductory video to Star Wars The Old Republic PvP. If you haven't yet closed it, perhaps you should keep watch on me at the twitch.tv/dailypvp or the website at dailypvp.com. You can stay updated through the social media, which is Daily PvP everywhere on Reddit, on Twitter and Facebook. Daily PvP everywhere. Yeah, I was lucky too. This username was free, so I'm just Daily PvP. My name is Igor, my primary handle is Flavored. Silly handle, kind of. But oh well. So, message me in-game on the Tomb of Freedom.net. Message me on social media. If you are interested in helping out, message me too. I can easily set up something running, some video conference, a record. We could discuss strategy, tactics. We could commentate on the games. Check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/dailypvp. Surprise, it's Daily PvP as well. For some ranked PvP games, if you can see the strategies used by the pro teams. All the new videos and content will be posted there as well, and that's about it. I've rambled for long enough. My tongue is about to fall off. Thanks for watching. Peace. And not the kind of peace you thought about. A good kind of peace.